One should have good, positive learning mindset. Nothing is good or bad. Only thinking makes it so. Give me freedom. Let the knowledge be not broken into fragments. Let the knowledge be free. Let we be free. In English, it is said that listening is the best skill.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Great Principles. I'm your host Seema and I welcome you all to another insightful session today. In one of his writing, Ibrahim Email says, life is made up of past, present and the future. These words resonates with my guest's vision and philosophy as an educator. She believes that education not only shape the future of the children, they also drives a country towards progress and makes a global impact on humanity. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Madhu Ved. She is director of Jagriti Public Schools, Delhi, and she is also manager of Saraswati Vidya Mandir Senior Secondary Division. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. I'm really excited to be in conversation with you.
Namaste. Thank you. Welcome.
So, ma'am, before we dive into today's discussions, I would first like to know a little more about you. What has been your journey in education, and what have been some challenges and achievements that you cherish?
Yeah, on the onset, I would like to mention that I am just a tiny drop in the mighty ocean. And I am a learner only, like as you are also, and everybody is a learner. And my journey started in a very different mode, I will say. Whatever I am today, and every day I am learning, in fact, what my education had been MA, MPhil, B.Ed, and so many other crash courses. Actually, in my life, nothing worked out as such. So I have to, open, I have to start my own strategies. And sometimes I think that it is good also, like everybody is different. And the things that work for every child in the class of multiple intelligence of 40 students, what we are taught in B.Ed classes, and when we are practically in the classrooms, the things are totally different. The same with us individuals. So, whatever I have been brought upon, and whatever I had been trained in my childhood, in my schooling, in my colleges, in my university, and finally things they were literally different. And I am a learner, so I am learning till now also.
Great. So, ma'am, you just mentioned that how things are different in the real world and in the schooling world. So, given this scenario, how do we expect our children, what would be your message to our children to be how they can be successful in life and map their knowledge into application of the real world?
Yeah, that's actually need of the RAs. I would request, and I normally recommend my students not to go for rote learning. And also, whatever the textual syllabus is mentioned by any board, IB or CBSE, we should go for life skills. And we are moving forward 21st century skills. And the person who may not be successful at school or college, I know so many of my colleagues who had been just in 40% or 50%. Now they are doing wonders in their life. So it's a big challenge, and it's also a big lesson to our youth that not only academic performance matters, what NEP also says, your holistic growth matters, holistic learning also matters. So you need to be a problem solver rather than a problem creator. So that's what I think.
Yeah, agree, ma'am. And now even this generation is changed. Now every day they keep hearing about some of the other company getting this kind of funding. Someone who was just a college dropped out or a school dropped out and has reached to a certain level. So with serials like Shark Tank India coming on, there is so much of inspiration everywhere around. So you rightly said that our children need to develop life skills to face the competitive world ahead. So, ma'am, Here, ma'am, another things comes into picture is like, languages. So not everyone has a command over language. So what do you think? What role does languages play in your professional life as well?
Yeah, this is a wonderful question, and it's my focus always. Without communication skills, like NEP is also coming up with, there's no division of the streams. I am from humanities, but I have met the people who are from science streams, commerce stream. Life itself is a mixture of all the streams. So my favorite subject had been eco, and I studied English. And also now I think a person who is a doctor, who is a CA, who is a business professional, or who is a startup holder, who is an entrepreneur, everybody needs a language to communicate. I don't believe whether it should be English, it should be French, German, Sanskrit, Hindi. But as we are not native speaker of English language, but it had always been my passion to go for one foreign language and one Hindi, our own language. So you should be clear whatever you are speaking, and it enhances your personality also, I believe. And one should have good, positive learning mindset, growth mindset, along with good communication skills, and also along with the positive mindset. For my students also, I always tell them, if you're not getting good marks right now, if you have not done well in board examination, it's not end of your life. Miles to go before I sleep. So miles to go. It's not only like once we are failure. I also had been a failure just after my college. I wanted to do so many things in one go. I was not clear actually. My vision was not clear. So whatever I had been guided, I joined that. But later I realized whatever I am. So I also tell my student, first know yourself. Knowing thyself is much more important. So now later in my life, at after 40, I got to know what I am, what I want to do. So my students, I am proud to say that my students are aware right now, even in class ninth, class 10th. One of my student who is class ninth student, he is an IAS aspirant. Kudos to him. And so many other students. One student said she wants to be a model. She, because she is 5'9" in class 6. So it's I'm impressed with their styles.
Right, ma'am, and even when I interact with so many students, I find a vast difference in what we were as students. Even till graduation, I was not aware what are exactly are my skill sets, or even especially when you are applying somewhere, they ask you what are your key skill sets, and then you start thinking, oh, do I really know this? But this generation is different. They are very focused. They know what they want, and then they get ample time to excel. Where their calling
Yes.
is. So, ma'am, here again, I to ask you one more question. So, as educators in schools, in colleges, how can we give a better counseling to our students so that they can choose the right career for themselves?
Okay. So that normally I tell my students what you like the most. If you like cricket, like one of the child, he is a badminton player, and he right now in the class fifth, he is giving 4 hours practice. So focused. My first point is what I guide my students is whatever. Nothing is like, I am from English literature, so I follow William Shakespeare. He says nothing is good or bad. Only thinking makes it so. So no profession is bad. Even if you want to be a chef, go ahead with the passion. And if your passion is your job, then definitely 101% that I feel you can excel. Like I did, so many people they do, and they do. If I talk about my personal thing, my daughters, they are doing, they're really excelling in their jobs because they followed their passion. So that is what a message to my students also.
Very wonderfully answered this one, ma'am, because this generation has so much of information from them. They are already aware of multiple career options, but where they lack is focus. And this kind of guidance is actually what is needed by the educators, by the parents, by the support system to give them that, stay focused, stay committed, and consistency is the key, because this is again a huge problem in our youth, that they're not consistent with the path they choose. They want quick results, and success doesn't come overnight, right, ma'am?
Yeah. I normally tell you your thing in different way. Rome is not built in a day. So my student, many of my students, like if I calculate my students, I infinite number of students, I all my students when they meet me, I always guided them. Nobody can eat omelette without breaking the eggs. So this and also, two roads diverged in a wood, which road I should take. I took the less traveled by. That has made all the difference. So that is not by Robert Frost only. That is now our greatest poet Rabindranath Tagore. Oh Father, give me freedom. Let the knowledge be not broken into fragments. Let the knowledge be free. Let we be free. So basic thing is you should be free. Swami Vivekananda ji also says fearless attitude. So I also tell my students that whatever you like, you should focus, you should give time, and also if you're not successful, don't mind it, because failures are stepping stone to success. And if you see Steve Jobs, if you see Bill Clinton, if you see so many other people, great personalities, I have heard everybody, even Bajaj scooter in my time, our teachers used to tell us about him. So everybody has has really really put in lots of efforts, as you rightly mentioned, like success is not in a day or two. So but a day like at the age of 60 also you can be successful. And you see nowadays so many apps are there, Blinkit, Zepto, whatever they are, what are they are doing. This is all youth. So they are focusing iPhone advertisement. If you see, they just focus that it is safety and security. They're not going for, and people are buying that. What does it mean? That you should be unique, you should be innovative, you should be unique, whatever you are doing. You should be different, your style should be different. And if it is appreciated, it's wonderful. If it is not, your backup plan should always be ready with you.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, if I summarize this to all my dear students and all my aspiring, I mean, anyone can start a career at very any age. And rightly, ma'am said that it's no one is old to start a career. Even 60 is not a big number. So, as it is said, na, age is just a number. So, I think ma'am very clearly summarized that what you need to focus on is when you are building anything, check out what is your value proposition and stick to that and build it so well that no one can beat you in that. So this, when you have these kinds of focus in mind, that is when you build something which is actually appreciated by the people, and try to solve as much of the problem you can and simplify the work for the people around you. And now we are a generation which also needs to take care of our planet. So whenever we are developing anything, ensure that you have sustainability in mind. See how you can reuse those things, how can you can put into a lot of effort in making nature friendly your business models. So ma'am, moving ahead in a conversation, I see how passionate you are about literature. You quote randomly, things come so naturally to you. So ma'am, here I'm sure, I mean, many students must have in this mind, but no one must have ever put up, why should I study literature? A very broad question, I'm sure I've asked you here. People say language समझ में आता, हम literature क्यों पढ़े? Why should we do it?
Yeah. Actually, people in there is a problem. There are some challenges with our system also. If you say like, if I be very honest with you, even our parents right now, the problem is we need to counsel our parents more than our students. Everybody wants a good package. Now, this is hard reality. I don't know whether I should share here or not, but this is a hard reality. And when we go for the other professions, there in language, you will be ending up as an anchor or as a lecturer or as a scholar, and you can't mint money as the CA guy, doctors, business, like these people. So, particularly, I have noted one thing that my girl students, They are towards emotional growth, and they are towards literature. And when I talk about my boys, my guys, my students, male students, they are more towards calculating mode than where we can get more dollars, like this is what they just switch over to the lines which fetch them a lot of money.
All right. So, ma'am, here I would like to slightly differ with you, and I think it's completely okay to disagree at points. Given the fact that we have so many content creator today, content industry is a huge industry, ma'am, and honestly, people are paying you anything for writing your golden words. If you are really good at content, there is like your success graph is going wherever you can imagine, and I think going ahead, our generation will see that people don't stick to one job. You'll be doing multiple jobs. So here, if you love literature, if you love language, I'm equally passionate about this language, because this language has only given me my career goals. So that is why I'm talking about it, that to all my dear students, if you really love this language and yet you want to make money, it's okay to do something else, but don't keep on building it, because content creation is a very, very big domain. You see so many YouTubers, what they are content creators. You saw so many Instagrammer, bloggers showing their passion. If I have a love for language and I love traveling also, so I get a very golden opportunity as a travel blogger. I can travel to the places, bring in what all I can, I can travel, and along with it, write it and present it to the world. So both my passions are working here. And if I love photography, so that also comes into picture. So your multiple skills can be coupled together and give you a very beautiful career ahead. So I think content has become very essential, ma'am, and we need good educators like
Mm.
you who can guide students that what is the power of this, why you should study literature, why you should have language, why you should build your vocab, how essential it is. And you rightly said, people are not bothered because they think that they don't have wide spectrum further here
Mm.
to go in their career graph. So I really don't see on my show also so passionate people for this language, and today I feel like I'm connecting, and I'm that is why I'm talking more, which I shouldn't. So we will now move to our very favorite segment, rapid fire round, ma'am. Here again, the game of words. You need to answer me in one word or a single sentence. Okay. So coming ahead to my very first question, if you were not an educator, what you would have been?
Classical dance teacher.
All right. So we assume that ma'am definitely pursue dance as a hobby.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So now my next question to you is, what are your hobbies? What do you do in your recreational time?
Cooking and interior decoration. Two words I have given you.
Wow. So to all my dear viewers, can you imagine we have a multifaceted personality? I was just giving you example right now, and see here we have one person. So my next question, do you have any morning ritual?
Yeah, I start my day with the gratitude mind, and my morning hour is with meditation.
Wow. Wonderful. So moving ahead to my next question. We all know that language and English would have been your favorite subject, but which other subjects you are were passionate about?
Eco. Economics,
Eco,
that
economics.
I am like, I will like to add here also, my English subjects is interactive subject, and I touch most of the time eco subject and interior, cooking, meal plan. These are all procedure writing in my English. So my curriculum, my syllabus is altogether different from other boards. I prepare my own lesson, and I go for interaction, transparency, and positive set. So my children are all, yeah, my children are very talented. I am so proud of whatever I am today because of my students, because of my children.
Ma'am, it's multi-talented and you're showcasing that. And I think children are observer today. They just follow what their
Hmm.
guru is doing. And so we need to be the right role model. So, and
Well,
that's what
I
you're
will
doing
like to
actually.
I will like to add one thing also here, like my passion
Yeah.
for my language, for my reading. In English, it is said that listening is the best skill, but I prefer reading also. So my daughter, I used to buy so many books for her, and she is Delhi University topper. Now she is a global leader. So that is what I would like to. And my younger one is also Lady Shri Ram College topper. And not only because of languages and other, her subject, actually every subject is important. Every subject is very good. Only the thing is, if you have passion, you can definitely. कौन कहता है आकाश में छेद नहीं हो सकता? अरे यारो, पत्थर मार कर तो देखो फिर क्या होता है.
Wow, so we have a poet also. Lovely. So it's great to hear, ma'am, what your daughters are, and I'm sure that your contribution has been huge in making them,
and
to
and,
be where
and
they
one
are.
of my students, she is doing PhD in IIT Mumbai. One of my students, she is Kalindi College topper here in Sanskrit. I love this language, Sanskrit. I always try to learn in my meditation. I always try to learn one word of Sanskrit because this is the language that connects us with Indian traditions and rich, varied heritage. Whenever we get married or some puja part in our home, we get Sanskrit shlok. This is my passion. I love that language.
Wonderful, ma'am. So my last question in this segment would be, to like you have been a role model for your kids and for all your students also. So what would be your tip for our dear parents so that they can help their children excel in language, especially because if they are able to express themselves, then they can put in their words across any subjects.
Yeah. For parents, I will say like they should be good friends to their children. Now the time is gone. Spare the road and spoil the child. Now the scenario is not like that. So like side by side, not formal English, formal language. You watch movies with them. I am more towards watching movies, listening. Listening really works. Reading really works. If you go to market, you read all the advertisement. And parents, if they are good friends of the children, I think then what about any one language? When I go to US, I have seen my daughter, there are so many families. Mother is Gujarati, father is Marathi, and they learn English in their surroundings, in school. Spanish is in their neighborhood. So a child acquires four languages, even he or she is at 4 or 5. But in our school, in our India, we think that one language should be introduced at pre-foundation, pre-primary classes. So child is a bundle of talents, and parents, like I say, parents are the Guru Govindau Khade kind of shilok. Parents are the first guru of the children, and I believe that parents informally they teach a lot instead of watching some domestic serials on the TV. If we watch some KBC kind of or some important like movies, some Avatar 2 is there. If we watch, then definitely 101% our children, whatever line they choose to, they will be excellent in any communication skills in any language.
So, ma'am is talking here about making some small changes of how do you spend the time with your children, and you see the impact of that will eventually happen. Small drop is what makes ocean. So the cumulative effect of these learning would be very great. So, today's conversation is so spiced up, and there are so many topics that here we are touching upon, and I'm really enjoying.
Mhm.
But there is some time limit
Me
that we
too.
need to end this. So before we sign off, ma'am, just one more last question to you here. So, what are your thoughts, ma'am? That in many schools we have 11th and 12th continued after 10th, and especially here as you move to Central India, we have the concept of junior colleges. So, what do you prefer? What do you think? And with NEP coming up, the new model is of 5+3+3+4. They are emphasizing that it will be brought under schooling system, which we used to call under college system. So, I would like to understand from you what do you think would be a wiser choice.
I think we should be flexible. And if you ask me my personal view, I think we can't avoid the systems. NEP has been a document that has been widely researched upon. And whatever decision has been taken, I respect that. And I think that when they have given 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th one model. So in that, like if a child has talent or his child has some knowledge or if he is passionate about something from class after middle school in class ninth, and then he has so many years to uh, get his skills enhanced in that era. So that way a child can do, or definitely he can understand his aptitude, and his attitude can also be, regarding that, like whatever he wants to do. So for me, I respect the research work more. R&D is definitely working hard in this direction, seeing the mind and the computer age. Time is changed. What my time was, I had been a student of class 10 student, and then 11 12th I did in my college, that I also appreciate. And we learned a lot, and we hardly any field left where we didn't participate because of the less burden of the academics that time. But here, my school had been senior secondary, where I worked 30 years in my school as a principal, as English PGT and vice principal. So I realized that 11 12th, if it is in school, it's a good decision.
It's a good decision. Right. So, everything has their pros and cons. And I think ma'am rightly put it up that you need to understand the current scenario and accordingly make the choices in life and be ready and welcome the change. So this was all about Dr. Madhu Ved, and I'm sure you guys must be wondering there is so much more to learn from her. So, do connect with her. She's
No,
always there to guide you. And I'm sure that today all my viewers must have got a fair idea that how can you be successful in life and just going through and learning multiple skills. And if you are a learner, then there is no looking back. So that is what the key lesson which I took from ma'am today. So thank you so
yes,
much, ma'am, for
yes.
being on our show, giving us your precious time.
Thank you so much. Welcome, and thank you so much.